Hey, what's up? Just gonna do this new review, here we go. So today we're gonna be talking about Jeff Rosenstock's new album, Post, and yeah, we're just gonna briefly talk about this one. There's not a lot to go over with this one, unfortunately, but the interesting thing about this album, it was recorded in the Catskills Mountains, if I said that right, probably not. Anyways, this is a punk album, and it really harkens back the days of the 2000s and the 90s, man. I'm really feeling it with this record here. You think if he recorded this in the mountains, he would have like this really luscious, spacious vibe to it, and more nature feeling, but no, it's kind of politically charged, and just like a typical punk record would be. And yes, it does talk about relationships and all that. It's not really that complex of an album, but the album has fairly good writing behind it. It's not like best writing, but it's not the worst writing. So the first track kind of illustrates what you're in for. It's called USA, and it's just this long track that's just like, it's just punk music. It's literally, you got those really standoffish guitars in there, and the drums, and the raw vocalizations, and it has this really cool bridging point throughout the song where the synthesizers come in for this really nice bridging the gap kind of moment, and then it goes back to the full-fledged song, and I love that. I like this song a lot. The song is just really neat, in my opinion. I was really digging this one, and I can see why it's a single on this record here. I really like the wet, dry sound that the drums make in this song, and then how the synthesizers kind of just feel like it's all just one organic piece here, and it just feels like it's tuned enough to where it doesn't feel overproduced or not produced enough. It feels like it's natural. It feels like a natural flow on this whole album, really. So the next song, Your Throat, is kind of just like this anthem-like song. It's typical. It has those nice raw vocalizations in there, and I love the vocal style that he's going for in this album. I've never heard any of Jeff's stuff. Maybe I have, maybe I just don't know of it very well, but I saw this album and I had to review it because I haven't reviewed I feel like an actual punk album in a while, and this is like, I don't know, it's just kind of like a trip because it feels so old, but it's not. It really isn't. We also have some more dramatic songs on here. They're just kind of, it didn't really do anything. 9 out of 10 is literally what the song's called, and it just has these kind of piano structures in there that you've seen in plenty of other songs. I mean, the guitar and everything else is fine. It just feels a little bit there, done that, in my opinion. This whole album kind of feels like that. There's some standout moments in it, but overall, I was just kind of like, I've heard this before somewhere. I mean, I just felt like I've heard all this kind of music before. It doesn't feel like it's really changing the wheel or anything, or making some revelation here. It just feels like it's just there. That's what this album kind of just feels like to me. But there are some standout hits. I really like songs like All This Useless Energy. I really like that song, actually, because it has this level of distortion in it that just, it's not to the point where you're like, oh, it's just at that point, it's at that tipping point where it's almost there, but it's just in the background and you hear it, and it's different enough to really appreciate that. I really like that. I like the little touches like that, and I also like the touches of synths in this. I feel like it's very carefully put in there, like they're like, not too much, but just enough to make it a little more interesting with each song that they do that with, or what he does that with, I should say. But anyways, really, I'm gonna probably forget about this album, I'm not gonna lie, unless I really come back to it. I'm gonna remember songs like USA and Your Throat, but a lot of it is just, it's there, it works, and it just feels so average to me that I can't really go out my way and recommend it to you guys unless you're really hardcore punk fans, because I don't know, I've heard way better punk albums that have came out past years, but this one's more reminiscent of like the 2000s era and the kind of late 90s to me, but I do like it. I love how this album's mixed. The raw vocalizations are what really sells me on this album. Other than that, all the like guitar parts and everything, they sound great, but I just feel like I've heard a song like that. I've heard a song like that. I've heard a song like that. There's definitely a song just like that song, and that's the whole time I was doing that. And I shouldn't be doing that while I'm listening to a new experience. I should be going, oh man, this is something new, and I can't wait to listen to it again. But really, listen to the singles. If you really like the singles, I definitely recommend you listen to the album, because you might like it more than I did. I do like it. I think it's a decent listen. I think it's a good way to start this year, but honestly, I'm probably gonna, like, when it comes to the end of the year, this album's probably gonna be a little forgotten for me. But so anyways, have a good one, and peace.